Hey, how's it all going, folks? We started off strong in the market, big, gigantic gap up at 1%. Very tricky to trade at the open, and pretty much after that first hour, we started the fade, and we gave back almost, more than half the gains, and finished right back in the range that we've been in the last 4 days, and so essentially, this market is kind of making a bear flag here, and so. Still guilty till proven innocent. We do need to hold these lows here of, 1627 ish, give or take a couple points. But a lot of people are kind of blaming this on the serious stuff, and that does happen where you get those news-driven headlines. But for the most part, you see this in August. Right now the markets have been looking for really any reason to sell off as we had just gotten so extended and overbought, right? And it always gives people a chance to reload lower in the context of the larger uptrend. And this is kind of no different. People have itchy trigger fingers, and so they'll sell off for any reason. And whether it was the Syria news or something else, we were going to see this type of weakness most likely throughout August and the beginning of September as we've just been on a huge run. And so expect a little bit more of this till we get some type of catalyst. But right now, till we start taking out some of these MAs and at least a first level of resistance, you got to play a little bit defensively. Trade less, trade a little bit smaller, but make sure that you're really selective on your setups in terms of sticking with what you do best. Let's take a look at the watch list. If we get a run in the market, I do like this RVLT. This stock is a turd. It's always been a turd. But I do think that we get a nice bounce here. We get pretty much a 50% cut on this thing right back down to support. ARWR, this is a biotech stock that's been flagging nicely here under 450. ONVO, I took a stab at this today. I sold it as the market started fading pretty quickly, but actually closed decent. And I do think if it rips over 6, that could trigger a run to 650. ASTX. And now we've had 3 days of consolidation right under the $7 key break. I think that we're really in the next day or two, this one's going to take that 7 out. Looking at this for a rubber band set up to the long side. We should get some type of relief bounce, at least, back to the 20-day moving average. I'll wait for a good intraday setup to really trigger this thing. You can't just buy it as it's just been tanking, so you got to make sure that you get a reversal pattern going. Kong, watch this one over 1050. SGMO, this one's got a longer term breakout that's, it's building into. It might not be ready just yet as it's really 11 is the key number, but we're starting to peak our way up there. And if we can take that out, I think that this one really has a chance to go. SSH, 5-day pullback right down to a previous breakout spot. I'm eyeballing that kind of the 10 area. UEPS, after its earnings, it's just been flagging here in the 11 range. It's still on watch for another run. TER, this is a big momentum stock of this last year. Look for, a 1350 break. That could set this thing off. ITMN, and another one that's got a nice range here in that 14-15 range. If we can kind of come out of this, that should take us back to highs. And take that off. INFI, so you can see here we're kind of tapping this 20 mark. We could start a quick base breakout, if we can get over 20. So we'll keep an eyeball on that bad boy tomorrow. Looks like it's bottomed out. Finisar, this one's probably more of a swing setup, but it looks pretty good here after this real extended run. We've spent, a few weeks here in consolidation. I think if this area holds, that could be at least, it's a decent spot for even a swing trade back up to highs, if not for a breakout. With this recent dip in the market, this one's actually still acting really strong. HPQ, Hewlett Packard, on watch for a potential short, a bear flag after its earnings debacle last week. CLDX, we got a breakout pullback. I think if this area holds, we can make a run back to highs, if not higher. Yoku, this one's setting up. It might need a few more days, but we're starting, we're building a trend line here that's got to, if it can come out, it's got, it's got potential. We're just, we're really coiling up here, and as this thing tightens up, we're going to get a nice squeeze out of this thing. Ecom, this was a high flyer, the last few weeks since we pulled back to this 30 spot, which was where its old flag breakout was. As long as this holds, I think this one can potentially bounce. And then we have deck here for a longer term. It's got a longer term breakout here, that 60 range. So keep an eyeball on this bad boys. This one goes back to the beginning of, let's see here, March 2012. So we've got a longer range kind of bottoming formation here. And if it goes, you could see a quick $10 on this thing over the coming, a month or so. So that's it for now, guys. As you know, the market's been soft, so trade fast, trade quick, and make sure to manage your risk. And I will see everybody later. Take care.